QAPI is not about drowning in reports and dashboards. It is about analyzing the right data the right way at the right time so that a hospice agency can improve its patient care. If the data that an agency is monitoring and the resulting changes that it implements do not lead to improvement, it means that the agency is collecting the wrong data, or that the agency is collecting data the wrong way. In this video, we will discuss how to easily collect and analyze data using tools that the agency already has, enabling the agency to effect change and improvement. Not all data is useful. Good data must be consistent, accessible, and actionable. It answers questions such as, what is happening, is it changing, and does it pose risk? Consistency creates a baseline that can be used to spot trends. Collecting data with different scales at random times results in numbers that cannot be used to provide meaningful insight. Accessible data means that it is quick for the staff to record the data and simple for leaders to review the data. If the data is hard to record or hard to access, it will not be used. Actionable means that someone reviews the data that is collected and takes decisive actions based upon what is observed. If an undesirable pattern or performance gap is observed in the data, it triggers a why, an investigation, and an action plan. Data continues to be collected following implementation of an action plan, so that the impact of the action plan can be measured and observed. If the action plan resulted in the desired improvement, the data continues to be collected and measured to ensure that the improvement is persistent and sustainable. If the desired improvement is not reflected in the data, a new action plan is implemented and the data continues to be collected to measure impact. Let's go through a step-by-step example. Suppose the hospice receives a report that nurses arrive late for visits. This is a signal that there may be a problem. The first step is to define the data that needs to be collected. Nurse scheduled visit times versus nurse actual arrival times. The second step is for the hospice to create a simple tool to collect the data that is needed to investigate this potential issue. The information is very simple and includes patient ID, date, scheduled arrival time, actual arrival time, reason. The data can be collected in a spreadsheet or on a paper. The hospice agency needs to make data collection easy so that it takes less than a minute after each visit to record the required data. The third step is to specify the data collection timeframe. There needs to be sufficient data so that conclusions can be gathered based on the volume of data that is collected. Be sure to communicate the why to all of the staff and monitor consistency to ensure that all staff are recording the required data after each patient visit. Do not yet solve the problem. Just ensure that the data is consistently gathered after each patient visit. The data that is gathered helps provide clarity about the problem. The measurements and clarity are necessary before any action is taken or intervention is made. By following these steps, the hospice agency is succeeding in turning a vague comment about nurses arriving late into a measurable improvement project. When the data collection time frame ends, the data needs to be analyzed. Using the data, some clear questions can be asked, such as, what percentage of nurses are late? Are certain nurses late more often? Do late visits cluster by geography or by day of the week? Use the data to answer these questions. Use evidence to find the root cause. Once root causes have been identified, introduce interventions that address the root causes. For example, reduce travel time with smarter routing, or adjust caseloads and training for a struggling nurse. Avoid generic fixes. Target the specific issue. Once the interventions have been introduced, remeasure using the exact same method. If the metric improves, adopt the change. If not, iterate. Improvement is real only when the data proves it. The biggest barrier that hospice agencies face is waiting for the perfect system. Do not wait for budget, software, or more staff. Start. There is no need for large volumes of data. Only the right data is required. Data that is collected consistently, data that is accessible, and data that is then used to take action. Shift from reacting after incidents to preventing them. Pick one problem such as late visits, medication errors, or incomplete paperwork. Build a simple form. Collect data for a limited time frame, then analyze, act, and remeasure. Define, collect, analyze, act, remeasure. This is the engine of improvement. And this is the engine by which hospice agencies can use data to improve patient care.